If I think back to the days 20 years ago, when the whole thing started, when walls went down, when borders were opened and so on, and compare the feelings and the expectations we had at that time with the state of affairs today, I sometimes don't believe that so much could happen in just 20 years. It's true, of course, that the last couple of years our region has been hit quite hard by the global financial crisis. But look what's happening in the Baltic countries and Poland right now, where they are rising again. Growth has returned, and if you look at Poland in particular, they suddenly were the European country that fared best during the crisis. So I have to admit that my wildest dreams in those days, and they were wild dreams indeed, they have come through. The whole Baltic Sea region being opened up, most of the countries part of the EU, part of NATO, and even though there has been some downturns, well, it's wonderful what has happened. And if you look at the political developments, all right, there are some problems here and there, and sometimes it's a little difficult to find the support of democracy that you would like to see. But overall, you have got a system in most of the Baltic Sea region where you accept the democratic rules, where governments can be voted down and are voted down, and where the oppositions are then taking over. And imagining that again this has taken place just over 20 years. I'm sometimes a little worried today about Russia and the way in which the Russian democracy has moved. And I'm still worried. But I sincerely hope that by bringing Russia closer into the international cooperation, like taking Russia into the World Trade Organization and increasing cooperation in our own region, it should be possible also on the longer run to support the democratic developments there, because quite a few Russians among my friends have the understanding that the reforms that are necessary in order to modernize the Russian economy, these reforms, well, they are best carried out in a more democratic system. 20 years from now, I believe that our region will be much more integrated than it is already today, because a number of the problems we are facing can only be solved with a much deeper cooperation and integration. Now, I'm talking about the huge environmental challenges in the Baltic Sea and even dangers that we are facing. I'm talking about cooperation on energy, on innovation, and this cooperation needs Russia as a partner. We are faced with some difficult choices in the years ahead of us, and my hope is that trying to look at the possibilities in a united European context will be the right way to deal with the problems. To give you one example, I have been appointed by the Danish government to a post as ambassador at large, dealing with India, trying to promote Danish exports and trying to promote Indian investments in Denmark. And I very soon found out that if you want to make an Indian company interested in our corner of Europe, you have to say, well, it's not just Denmark. It's part of the Baltic Sea region, the growth region in Europe that right now does certainly not look too attractive if you sit in a booming India and look where things are happening. Europe as such is facing severe problems right now. Our Baltic Sea region on top of Europe have some possibilities of doing better than the rest of Europe.